Hello everyone and welcome to Module 1 Lesson 5, which is Identifying Relationships in Graphs. So go ahead and write that title down. I'll give you just a second. Alright, moving on. From this slide, all you need to copy down is the title and the bullet points right over here. So in this lesson, we're going to talk about identifying proportional relationships from a graph. So if the line on a graph is proportional, it meets the following requirements. Number 1, it does make a straight line. And number 2, it passes through the origin. Now, who remembers what origin means? If we're talking about a graph, the origin is the point 0, 0. So if we have a coordinate plane, so if we have, remember this over here is x, this is y, the origin would be the point right here in the corner with the ordered pair 0, 0, like I said earlier. Alright, I hope you have all that copied down. You don't have to write what I just wrote in blue. It was just there as a reminder. If you don't remember what the origin means, you can copy down the little picture I just drew. So, example number 1. I do want you guys to write down, example 1, write down what I have underlined. So it's just the directions that say graph the points from the table to determine if the relationship is proportional or not. I do want you to copy down the table right here, and then use the graph that I gave you in class on Monday you can either glue that in your notes or just kind of tape it to your notebook paper to make the graph. So I do want you to go ahead and pause the video to get that table copied down and get your graph situated. So now that you have your table down, you are ready to start plotting points. It is a little difficult to plot points on this iPad, so if it's not perfect, just bear with me, make it as perfect as you can on yours. I did write right up here, remember, ordered pairs are written X, Y. So whenever we are making these ordered pairs, plotting these points, our first example right here would be 2, 3, because candy bar sold is X and money received is Y. So this ordered pair would be 2, 3. And if I were to plot that point, I go over 2 on my X, up 3 on my Y to have a point right there. Now my next ordered pair would be 4, 5. Again, I just go over 4 on X, up 5 on Y. So make a point there on your graph for me. The next point is over 8, so 8, 9. So over 8, up 9. See, that one's a little off. I'm sorry. Please put the point perfect on your graph. And my last point is going to be 12, 12. So again, over 12, up 12. Now, to determine if this is a proportional relationship, you do want to draw a line. If you have a ruler at home, that is ideal. If you do not, just use a straight edge. Any kind of, honestly, a piece of paper will work just fine, or just a thicker piece of paper, maybe like a book cover or something. And connect the dots, and remember to pass through the center of the points perfectly. My line isn't exactly perfect. You know what? Let me try that again. You guys can make sure yours are all good to go. Well, it's still not exactly perfect, but it's close. It's pretty close. But you guys will see it does make a straight line. But does it pass through the origin? No, it doesn't pass through the origin. I want you to look right down here at this little box. You don't have to write this down. You know what? We'll just highlight the whole thing. I want you to ask yourself, is it a straight line? Is it through the origin? If the answer to either one of those questions is no, then the example is not proportional. So I'm going to write that up here. Not proportional. Oops, sorry, that's a little messy. So, I hope that you guys are ready to try one on your own. I do think this is kind of straightforward. So, the next one will be a try it problem. Please try it to the best of your ability. Alright, so I do want you guys to go ahead and I want you to try it, write what's underlined. So graph the points from the table to determine if the relationship is proportional or not. Do go ahead and copy down your table right here and plot all of the points in the second graph that I gave you on Monday. Take the time to put it in your notes and then hit play and you can see all the answers. So you all should have points plotted on your graph that look like this. Whenever I go to draw a straight line, I'm not using a straight edge, so it's not going to be super straight. And I try to connect this top point in a straight line to this point. I see that I'm going to have to change angles to come back down here. If I were to insert a nice, neat straight line for you, let's make that, well, don't think I can make it a different color. Sorry. This line right here will not connect all of the points, even though it is perfectly straight. So you will need to draw some kind of curvy line to connect the dots. So we can come back down here and ask yourself, is it a straight line and does it go through the origin? Now, this right here, we could make it go through the origin if we twisted it, but it is not a straight line that goes through the origin. So the answer to your try it problem is that it is also not proportional, just like our example. So please bring any questions you have about this to class tomorrow, and I will be glad to answer them. We will have more practice with graphing relationships to determine if they're proportional or not. And I will have rulers for you to use tomorrow in class if you are struggling like I was to make straight lines without one. So have a good rest of your day, and I will see you all tomorrow.